and we'll get started with the DU, document understanding. So here mentioned, some of you are from student and some of you are already been working as a developer. So the document understanding, what is one of the product in UiPath. So before we get dive into what is this product and everything, and let's take a step back and think about why we need a document and why it is we have to process. And if you look into the everyday life, the documents are being processed not only digitally but also physical as a paper. So let's take, for example, students, and you have to process your applications, and there are many use cases in the real day life. For example, invoices, you have checks, and you have to fill your forms for banking, and many other more. So in these places, so what we usually encounter in this process, so someone has to be a person who has to read a document and interpret it, and maybe take some action based on the outcome of the document, or before something has happened and due to that we are receiving that document. So in order to do this, and manually, if we are doing the document, and there are many things happens in the stages, right? So manually extract, interpret, and do some action. And there are various type of documents, and it's not like a handwritten, it's there in many languages, and also some person has to be there and to do it. And it's to do it manually, it takes time. And if it takes time, and it also takes some time, some amount of cost to do that. And there can be some errors, some losses here and there can happen. And if it goes into a very complex use case and solution is happening, then we need more time. It increases the error also as well as the time. So let's take one step back, and I'll give you an example of a persona. Then we'll take. Let's think of you as a person is a clerk to process the checks. So you are in one department. Your job is to clear the checks, and you have to enter the details in some system. And once you've done the system, only you can deposit the checks into a bank. And that once it processed, it takes 2 to 3 days for clearing the check and getting the amount into your company's department. And that amount is then will be distributed to particular department, the other departments, right? So here there are a lot of stages, and there's time involved and also money involved. So if you are one person and you are getting checks and 10 checks a day, then it's not an issue, you can do it. But how about you get 10,000 checks a day and you have to fill these actions, and taking the checks and make a copy of it, and then enter the details into each field and then submit it into bank. And this is a time processing. For one, let's take for one check, it takes 3 to 4 minutes, or like 5 minutes it's taking. But for 1,000 checks, it is like 5,000 minutes. So it's more than it cannot be done in a one day. So in this duration, and also the checks are all formed, these kind of document is constant, is pretty much constant. So you are doing the same work again and again, and it's because of this the money clearance will be taking time, and the department which needs that money will have to wait for you. So to handle this and make some of these issues or the errors that can occur when manually we process the document, how our document understanding solution will help. So why a person has to do everything this manually? Why can't we let the bot do it by it, and we teach it how to do it, and then it will learn from this and take action. If the bot not able to take some action, then it will ask us to help it. So that we are able to do things like cost efficient and time efficient. So, and it will be fast as well. And the solution, the big process, the complex process can be reduced into smaller process. And it is very helpful for the persons who involved doing the job manually, and also the people or the departments or other situations that are being dependent on this action. So Why document understanding? So this is you might already know the robotic automation process where we automate the fixed steps and to reduce time and also have the efficiency. We are having RPA, but we have the artificial intelligence. So here we are giving the capability using the capability of the AI and the artificial intelligence and the machine learning model. So we can do the teach the robots, and we need the process. What we are doing, the document. So for the document, using the RPA and integrating with the AI, so we have the joint set of the document understanding. So let's say, so you are giving different types of templates, rules. So every time something changes, then you have to learn it and process. So the same manner, we can teach the bot using our document understanding product. So it can itself learn, and if anything new comes, it will see based on the experience and the knowledge, it will process the document. So this is also, and we can integrate with the RPA with the easy to drag and drop features, and you will able to create and process it quick and easy. So what we have few capabilities the document understanding provides for an end-to-end application. So we have two things here. One is rule-based and another is model-based. So rule-based is like more on rejects and the forms, whereas the model-based is using the artificial intelligence subset machine learning model. So here the machine learning model with the capabilities we have in-house, you can directly create the project immediately, like an easy to get solution. So here we have a framework that is so complex, composable, that can be easily tweaked based on your use case, and an end-to-end solution for interpreting what information we need and what information the bot should look out. And there are various documents that it can process by itself, and various different objects like handwritten signatures, any stamp, anything you can, if you want to look, it can still do that. And powered with the AI capabilities and with the retrainable capabilities. So here, once we got the AI capabilities, once you see the new things are coming up, it can retrain it, and the next time any new change is coming, it will know the knowledge. So the last time it happened like this, so next time it should do in this manner. And now we have this availability on cloud and on premises also. So before we dive deeper into it, document understanding comes as a single product, but it has also been involved in different other products that to help us to manage the automation. So we have AI Center, or as the document understanding as a service. So this is where we train the model, we create it and maintain it. And the action center is where I said, like, if something the bot not able to do or take action, someone has to help it or verify it. So this is where the action center is one of the products comes in place. And next we have the studio robots and orchestrator. So this is a general RPA code tool. So using this we maintain and we run the bots, and through studio we develop the process. Yeah. So what is document understanding? So now I said what document understanding we can teach the robot and the run. But before, how the document understanding generally works. So we have some stages on it. First, any document, since this is an automation and digital tool, so we need to process the documents and make the bot to understand this is in digitalizing in its own language. That is, we have the taxonomy called as, we define what fields we need to want, and digitalize it to make sure that it is able to understandable by the robot or the computer language and text, and then we classify. So we can have multiple type of documents, right? So you want to know which type of document you want to classify, and based on that classification, you want to extract the specific information. So you have things to extract from invoice, and you cannot extract this information from a check. like that. So we need to know which document we want to classify and what type it is to identify, then we will extract them. And here, if the bot is not able to understand and is not able to classify which type of file it is, then here comes an action to for the human. So we will verify them and we teach the bot. So this is what it is. So once we validate it, and then it will be having a record of what we have told, and then it is a continuous process. It done. And once we classify, we go to extract. So this is where we usually get the information what we want. And again, based on some rules or specific to you, and if the extracted data is not clear or not able to do, then again it comes to human verification and we validate it, and it takes a record of what we are doing and keep it as a knowledge base for the future new documents to validate. And then it exports to the data, whatever data we extracted, and we can move it into next stage, export into any other form you want, maybe in Excel or in a database, dump it into some other location. That's it's based on what we want at the end of the day. So as I said, these are the stages, and now we'll look at each stage specifically. So the taxonomy is nothing but you define what field you want and what should be extracted in the document. So this is a taxonomy manager is an wizard where you can define what type of document and what field should be there, and you can and set them. And next, the digitalization. So in the digitalization, as we said, it's a digital document. It has some images. Sometimes it is native PDF, then it will easily able to recognize. But if it is a scanned one, then it becomes an image, and we have to provide what data is inside it. And before that, so document understanding process will support image, PDFs, and PDF documents. So once these PDFs are being there, and we have to convert the things into text. So in that text only for converting, we are digitalizing it using an OCR. So we have different types of OCR we can use. For example, UiPath, Google OCR, Tesseract, and anything that works best for you or best for the document that you have. And whatever the information is there, and it will be converted into text. If you notice the file in the first in the top, and this information is in the table or some layout, and it's being converted into an text. And once we digitalize, and we will classify them. So let me show you how to classify, and we can have the accessibility to split the documents if it has multiple things. So here the classification also has different variations. We can be able to do it. One is like with the keyword, or again here then another ML model based classifier we can have, or some intelligent keyword classifier we can have. So let me show you a simple video of how usually the classification happens. Sorry, it's being stuck. Yeah. Let's say you have a different one particular file has different information like receipt, checks, unrelated documents, or some statement, everything. And you want to know what document should be, from which page to which page the document is invoice, or from where it is statement, or from where the next receipt is there. So to divide this document, we have the classification, and based on this classified results, the extraction will happen. So this is one of the where you can see or validate the classification, which we call as classification station. So once a document comes, this happens only when a bot is not able to classify by itself or by another base rules that you define. And if it comes and you see that you want to have something specifically, you can split the files by drag and drop and select the files you don't want, and you can remove also. And once you selected which type of document it is, then you can just click save. So whatever actions you are performing in this station, a record of it metadata or the record of what is happening and how this file is being validated is all being taken record, and it will be used for the future next records. And then the stage is extract. So once you classified, you have to extract it, right? So for based on different classifiers or different document type or style, and you have defined a specific fields, and you can configure them in the activity, which I'll be showing in a minute. And then you can extract them. And again, here we have the validation. So here what we do, like classification, when we are the bot is extracted and it's not able to be so sure that it's what I extracted is right or wrong, or you place some rules for it to make it's not available or it doesn't exist, something like that, it will come for validation, and you will again select the data in a user interface and then make sure what every data is correct and then save. And like I said, when whatever actions that you do in the validation, maybe it is a classifier or extraction data. So we are taking the information from there and also training them. So the training will be happening using through these two activities called trainers. For classification, we have separate classifier trainer, and for extraction, we have another trainer. So these two activities does the job of saving all the information into a location of, it can be anywhere locally in the project or some shared location, and from there it will use that information for the next upcoming documents to verify. So using this as a historical data, that helps to reduce the human validation over the time. And finally, whatever data we have extracted, that we are exporting into any other form of documents, maybe an Excel or system or an email, whatever you want. And at the end, that can be happening once the extraction is completed. So this is how it usually happens. We start the document understanding stages will starting from digitalization, classification, extraction, and export. And when we are doing the extraction and classification, many decisions can appear to call for action. And once that all actions has been completed, then we will be end the process. So this is then a high level of what document understanding is composed of and how the stages it happening and how it works all together. So now we talked about the stages or and the components that document understanding has, right? But what kind of documents that you can process? So we have three different types of document we classified as. So one is structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. So structured is fixed form, like let's take some KYC form that you fill in a bank or any school application form. They are like a fixed format. And the IDs, for example, your national IDs, every national ID has a common one structure. There is no variation for one national ID, right? So those and all comes under the structured type. And then in semi-structured, where the data will be present, but it will be in a different location for different variations. For example, receipts. If you go to one place and get in one shop, the receipt format is different. Whereas in another shop, they follow different format. And the bank or bank statements or utility bills. And that unstructured format is there is no structure at all. So every time they change based on the content or something, example like contract, agreements, emails, such like. So how the document understanding can help us to process these different types of documents. So to process that, we have two different approach. One is rule-based and another is model-based. As I said, when you have a structured documents, and they are more structured, and you can know what is be available, then we can rely on the rule based structures, so rule extractor and form extractor. Whereas the unstructured and semi structured ones, where you don't know what variation will come over the time, you have to again and again make some changes. To avoid that, and also the using the AI capability, we can extract the data. And there is sometimes you might require these two things happen to be clubbed together and work. So in that situations, you can do hybrid, both rule based and the model based on one particular document itself. So this is what it's mean. Like a model based is ML model, and whereas the extractor is used. So when we have going to model based, when there is wide variety of structures and handling more different types of documents, and to process less structured documents. So before we go and start the development in the process in the studio, we have to build our extractor. So for that extractors, we don't have we have many things like document manager and AI center. These are all components which I initially told that happens together to create a process, right? The document understanding will interact. So previously I told about the ML model, and in UiPath document understanding, we have models for few specific types of documents already trained. So we don't need to be a data scientist or ML developers to create one model for specific for that use case. These models we call as out of the box models that will help you to extract the data very quick and easy in a minute. So you can just use this model and give the document, and it will give you the extracted information. So you don't have to train by yourself from scratch. So we have many things, and at the end of this session, in the additional resources where you can find more, I will be providing the links to you to go through them. So why we use the out of the box model? As I said, these models are already being trained on millions of documents, and based on that, you can just leverage the capability instead of starting anything from the scratch. So that's why we have the out of the box model usage. So one of the example I have given here, if you notice, so the extractors, they have predefined entities. Entities means field that you want to, or any data you want to extract. So let's take one of the things like an checks. And if you notice here, these checks have, usually the checks have very minimal information in it, right? So you can get names, pay amount. These fields are already being trained on multiple check samples, and you can just use to get the information from the file. You give a check and then get it. So how we can, you can start with the document understanding process. So if you go to UiPath Studio, UiPath Cloud, and you can open the document understanding service, and there you create a project. You can give the project and give a name, and then you will be opening the document type. So there you can specify as a semi-structured, and it will open this page. So this document manager is where you upload the file and label them if you need to have a customized one. But if you don't want to need any customized and just the fields that we already have in the out of the box model, there is no need for going there. And you can just use the endpoint or the URL which is available in our docs page. You can give that into the activity, and you will get all the information extracted from the file which you want to process. So this is the step if we are going for a customized one. So we create a project and label the documents in document manager, and we export them the data, and we create the ML package. The ML package is just a new version for your specific needs. So here, when we go to, like I said, the document understanding is not just the entire project. So document understanding is one of the solution. It's a part of the end-to-end business process. So upstream is where you get the information or the document it comes, whereas the downstream is where the extracted data you want to utilize it. So the document understanding is a standalone process, but it's a combination with the downstream and the upstream. So like whatever I have explained now, so I'll show you a studio code, how we are integrated into a process, and I can run one or two files to show you what is happening to give a better idea. So here the process starts and we load the taxonomy. And in the taxonomy manager, like I said, whatever fields that you want to need to extract, we are just defining them. I need this payment amount, and you can find these for the predefined out of the box models in the schema in the links which I'll be sharing in a minute. And then the next step is the digitalization, and here we are using the UiPath OCR, our in-house OCR. You can also have any other different OCRs that's available like Google, Microsoft, Tesseract, some such that. And once we extract, we are giving classification. So here I'm passing the document and I'm asking them to classify based on what type of document it is. And we can have some rules to know if it is classified or not, or base any confidence, how confidence the bot is. If it is not confidence, okay, give it for human verification. That we use will be done with the present validation station or classification station. And then once we know what type of document it is, and we are extracting the data from the file. And again, we are asking for the human validation. It's done through validation station. And finally, I'm exporting the data, whatever it is, and writing it back into an Excel. So how this information is, how these activities work together and give you the results. And I have one check already been kept. I wanted to show you about the checks processing, and I have given one sample check here, and let's see how it is running in a real-time world process automation. Yeah. So it has digitalized, and now it's asking me whether it was not able to classify by itself. So this doesn't happen every time or all the documents. This happens only if you want to show them or human validation required all the time, or based on some rules that you define them. So for now, I wanted to show you how this happens in all the stages. That's why I kept it all the time to show. So here I'm giving what type of document it is, and I'm saving them. So once you are done, the process will automatically resume and start for the next. So this is a simple flow, and we have in a real-time world, we don't do in this manner, but in a different way, which we called as document understanding studio template. If you already been aware of core RPA, there you know about the RE framework. Similarly, we have one template for document understanding also. So that will be able to handle in a real-time process in an orchestrated, unattended way. So now it came for validation, and the data has been extracted. And this is also by my insistent it came. It can be changed based on the rules, as I mentioned earlier. So if you want to verify, you can verify in such a way. So amounts, it says 750 and 39 by 4. And if you want to edit something, you can right away click and write some information if it is not correct. If it is correct, then you can just click this check mark that you have confirmed. So the payee is also there, and if you notice, this is a written handwritten one. So if the handwritten ones are also being able to extract by is recognized by the ML model, and it automatically says where the amount is and the date it is available, and what bank name is, and check number, and such information. And once you verify all the data, you can submit, and the data will be then processed and exported, written into an Excel file. So which for this use case I have done. Let me open and share you. Yeah. So if you notice, whatever information it is extracted, it is coming here. And this is another one we call confidence. So how confident the bot is about. So one refers to that means it is 100% sure. And using this information they extracted, we can do the downstream process, nothing but how you want to leverage this extracted information back into the next process in the business uh, I'm sorry, in the business setup. I know this is a little very basic. So with the resources which we are going to share you, you can find the documentation where you can find all the information about document understanding activities, and what other more ways that we can find, and what other products can be involved into them. And in this URL, you can find the predefined UiPaths out of the box models, and which you can just use and leverage instead of creating models by scratch. And then here you have this studio template. So studio template, and it's a guide. So what each template or workflow inside this template it's working, and how the real world, how we can leverage them. And last but not least, it's an academic course that gives you the intro of document understanding, not only the studio but also what we can do in a scratch for different types, that is apart from the out of the box model. So here you can create some projects that not only like different templates, for example, agreements or checks or loan application form, anything that you want to do, which is not available in this OOTB. And also anything you want to add the field, it's not there in the given predefined our endpoint, you can also leverage them using add them and create new models customized for your specific use case. So that's all team I had for you. Yeah, Shailaja, yeah, it's UiPath storing the customer's data while training or using out of the box model. We have a data retention policy where it can be for enterprise customers, we don't store any data, and for community versions, we use the data to improving our out of the box models or in-house product improvements. Okay, any other question? If there is, please leave it in the chat. We will try to answer you as soon as possible in this session itself. If not, we'll respond you in a mail. So that's all I have stored for you, everyone, about the document understanding. The basics, this is just a bare bone of the document understanding. In a real world scenario, it will be little more tweaking here and there to leverage and based on the complexity of the use cases as well. Gen AI extractor used for training, I'm not getting your question as such. If you are meaning the Gen AI extractor, if we are using it, it's retrainable, but at this moment we cannot retrain the Gen AI extractor. Is these are the steps that we have to create. This needs a separate session that in depth to show to know what is happening in the each stage and how we will create the process. This is a high level schema, and we can have a new session or another call or meetings like this to give you teach how it is happening in a step by step manner. Okay, thanks everyone. In next, I'm handing over this to Soumya for communication mining. Please share your questions here. I'll be answering in the chat.
Thanks, Priya. Just really nice to hear about document understanding. Hi, everyone. I'm Soumya. I'm working as an applied scientist based out of Bangalore from UiPath. So today I'm going to introduce about the upcoming product, that is the growth product about communications mining. Yeah. So let us start with the upcoming growth product about this UiPath communications mining. So let us first understand what would be natural language processing. So natural language processing is a field of machine learning that helps us to automatically understand and process very natural language data, how humans interpret. So it basically focuses on unstructured communications data, and it turns into a structured actionable data also by understanding different concepts and themes within the particular data. And also it also helps us to understand or extract basic data points from all these communications that are coming across. So why is NLP becoming very popular? Why is it happening too much in this age? So in the day-to-day life of a business, there are too many communications happening. If you want to communicate anything over about something with your business or with your customers, it always go through emails, and there is high volume to keep pace with each every day with because of time consuming and also the resources. And each and every day it is growing exponentially as the employees and the customers communicate more than ever. And there are different channels. There are multiple channels for employees and customers, like emails, support tickets, there is chats, there is phones, etc. And all this data, if you want to understand and if you want to take action, it has to be done manually. And if it has to be done manually, the staff that is being used are quite costly, and it's very inaccurate, and it's also very inefficient process as well. So this is the reason NLP has become, that is natural language processing, has become very, very upcoming and very popular nowadays. So there are different types of natural language processing models that has come of age, like the T5 model. There is Mina model, there is Vega V2, there is there's Deberta. There's so many models that are coming up, And these NLP models basically play with all these text data that is coming across. So how can NLP solutions, have help in these kinds of challenges? So NLP solutions basically understand what every customer wants. Natural language processing understand what every customer wants. It tracks and measures all the service demand that is in real time. And it also helps in automating every transactional request. That is, if you have a bunch of conversations going on with your colleague, your business employee, or anybody, okay, it automates every transactional request that is coming across, and it understands different types of concepts. For example, if an email, you drop an email saying I'm sick out today, or if there is a sales coming up, email that is coming up, and if you want to track and measure, okay, how many emails are like this particular concept or theme coming up, NLP gives a better solution for all these things. And this indeed helps the skilled employees from doing all these administrative work, and concentrate on their real work that is being happening around. So it also helps in reducing the cost and also improves the experience of the employee as well. So coming back to what is communications mining in UiPath. So communications mining, we also call it as comms mining. It's a field that only focuses on understanding and extracting particular insights or value from these communications data. So like natural language processing, the communications mining also converts all these unstructured information that comes up each and every day into very structured, and it also helps in to make it as a machine learning readable data, and which in turn can be used for analytics, like creating dashboards or looking at the graphs, and also it can be used for kinds of automation as well. So how communications mining helps us, or UiPath's communications mining helps us to give this solution? So communications mining formerly was called as the reinfer. It automates every transactional request or every communication that comes across. It helps a business to understand and automate these messages. So what does a solution has? Like, it's a combination of this machine learning and also natural language processing. And also an employee who knows the business will train this model. Okay, there is no code involved, so that anybody can use. And this particular communications mining will help us to get more insights, get visibility, like into emails, tickets, or customer feedback. So this helps the business to understand how their customers react, what are the customers going through, and it helps in maintaining these improvements along the business. It will have a biggest impact as well. And it also enables intelligent automation from these communications. It understands how the data is and how the communications are going on, and it also generates a very structured data, so that this particular data which we understand from these communications can be used for downstream automations as well. So how does it what does it do? How does it help across? So UiPath communication mining helps enterprises and also understands and actions every message at speed and scale. So the basic thing is, it takes all these emails, tickets, or various whatever the data that is coming up. It takes that, it connects into the platform, and the business SMEs who knows about these tickets, who knows who's handling this process each and every day, will try to train the model. And in this, while training the model, we have different steps that is being going on. We try to connect, we try to discover how the emails are going on, what are the emails all about. We train the model, and also we validate. So the model will help us to understand or interpret every message in real time. So each and every time you train the model gets updated in real time. This is the beauty of this product. And it also helps us to give different automations and insights through RPA. You can also make API calls. You can also have management information system. You can also have ERP systems coming in. So one of our clients have SAP being integrated with it, so that they can do the downstream automation for the data that you are going to extract from these emails as well. So how UiPath helps the customers? So it helps the customers to increase the efficiency. It also enhances the customer client interaction and experience as well. And it also helps improves the governance and the control. So what all these happens, what all these leads to is it delivers value very quickly and at a bigger scale. It cannot be done, it is not done in years or months. It can be done in simply in hours. So let us see an overview of how it actually works. A typical journey of how your data goes into the platform and comes out. Okay. So here, when you can see the data is being ingested with whatever means, maybe it might be email, it might be a chat server, it can be a CRM, and then it ingests all these data and stores it, and then it parses and comprehends. It understands what these emails are all about. It applies unsupervised machine learning, and it discovers and trains. It understands what kinds of emails are, and then it tries to group them into a single cluster based on the similarity. And it also forms as a report and analyze these communications in a form of graphs. And once you are satisfied, once you're fine with the model, that the model rating that is coming across, and also you feel that the model is being trained enough, you validate, you see, okay, you see all these predictions are fine or right, you deploy it into production. Or else you go back and you train the model again, and then you validate it again. And then finally, all these insights, all these extracted information will be given into production through RPA, or you can make API calls, you can have a management information system and so on. This is how typically how the data goes into the platform and comes out with the amazing insights that you can see. So the first and basic step, like I had said before, it's about how you connect the data into the platform. So you can have different types of means that can be done. You can do it via AWS services. You can have Salesforce. You can have Google Workspace, and you can also integrate your mailboxes as well. So I have seen clients having 80 to 90 mailboxes of different categories that are being integrated into the platform as well. Okay, and all these things are being can be done and integrated into the UiPath communications mining as well. And simply you can also upload your data through CSV files into the communications mining portal as well. So there are different means where you can upload your data into the system, and all these can be brought down into downstream automation through RPA, through workflow, or through email server as well. So once you integrate all your information into the platform, so the communications mining, the first step is it will understand, it will try to discover, it will try to discover what the content is about, what is the concept about all these emails. So it will start grouping all the emails into a single cluster based on certain similarities. So for example, here in the example, it all talks about the complaints. It all talks about the refund, or no, there is no flight. It's all about complaints. The whole cluster is about. So it tries to group them into a single cluster, and then will show us, okay, whether this is correct or wrong. You tell us. So the business SME will go and mark it whether it is correct or not based on the data labeling process that is being given to them. So the communications mining also continuously retrains to find new and interesting insights from all these discovery options. And this is a very repetitive process, because as and when the data comes in, the model will try to understand what is each and every communication is all about. The next step is the train the model. Once the model, the unsupervised model that is built into the platform, tries to discover and forms into clusters, what it will do is the business SMEs that is being assigned will start to train the model. They will so in this particular platform, all the emails or the tickets that are coming in, you can have either two options. You can classify them as different emails, or you can also extract interesting data points from these emails. So also Our communications mining platform is so wonderful that it has zero code training, and the UI also guides where to train and how to train the model. These custom accurate ML models can be done in minutes and not in months at all. So this helps us to give a guided and a data efficient learning to help any employee extract different interesting insights from these emails and then automate the process as well. The next one is predict. So once we start to train the model, the communication mining starts to interpret the message and tries to give interesting insights and also extracts relevant structured data. So for this particular email, it talks about change of address. So the label that is being described over here is called as the change of address that is coming across. And if you want to extract key data points, so those are called as entities. If you want to extract these entities like policy number, date, or address, these can also be extracted from these emails. And this particular data points can be used for different categories like RPA or MIS or anything that can be used. However, the business wants these data can be these structured data can be used for their purposes as well. Once you train the data, once you are satisfied with the model rating and everything, you have to validate whether the model has predicted everything properly, or it has giving out the proper results. In that way, we have to validate and continuously monitor the model performance as well. So all these things are done in real time. Hence, this validation is necessary for coverage and also training inconsistencies and labeling bias as well. So these are all guided based and are all recommended, and everything is being given to us so that we'll be able to train the model by ourselves. So as you can see, the model here has a very good rating. It has 90%, and it also gives us feedback that how many messages are being reviewed by the model and how many labels are underperforming, and what is the average precision or accuracy that can be given as well. So everything can be monitored, everything can be given over here as well. So that is the reason you continuously monitor and improve the model performance by this particular platform. And then once you have the data being trained, once you have everything being analyzed, there you have interesting insights that can be gained through analytics. There is a dashboard that is being provided where you can have different types of insights from these communications that are provided. So you can have a graphical representation of how many emails have come across, what are the best labels that are being provided, what is the most interesting or most upcoming classification that is being done in the model. Everything, all these insights, powerful insights, can be given through our analytics dashboard. So this reporting provides historical as well as real-time insights on the communications channels as well. So it can be identified and quantified, and also helps us to track for the first time when the communications come into the platform. So the issues also cannot be monitored, and the stakeholders can also be alerted to enable any issues that comes up with the proactive resolution as well. So we can also create custom dashboards and also have quality of service monitoring as well. So you can see that how many emails that are being coming over every month. Those also can be created as a dashboard over here. And you can also see which is the highest performing label that can be seen on the dashboard as well. So you can also have the quality of service monitoring as well for the particular emails that are coming in onto the platform. So sometimes what happens, there is an issue that is coming up. There is lower precision that is happening. There is an accuracy issue or something. You can also create alerts and you can immediately resolve these issues in the real time itself with the help of these results, with these alerts. So these alerts will help us to understand whenever there is an issue that is upcoming, and these alerts will be given to the users and they can go over and solve it immediately. So this is how the alert creation will work. So let us see a very important platform, how it is used in the real time. So this is the platform that can be seen. This is a very basic demo data set. This is regarding an underwriter broker support. And this is the platform of communications mining. So when you go into the first tab where you have to train, so this is where you can see it's all guided experience that comes up. You can see the model rating. You can see how each and every recommendation that is coming up, the feedback, whether how good your model is performing, how many underperforming labels are present, and what is the lower average and what is the precision for each and every label can be seen over here. Okay. And when you go to Discover tab, you can see that, like I had told before, there are clusters that are being formed based on the similarity. So all these are based on the policy cancelled, or there is something cancellation that is being happening. And it is being prompted by the model that, hey, look, there is some cancellation that is being happening. Maybe this might be interesting for you. So based on these clusters, the business SMEs will go and label it. Okay, this may be related to policy cancellation and so on. So like these, there are around 30 clusters that are being formed. So in the initial stages, it is recommended that you have to at least train all these 30 clusters so that the model will understand what is the intent of the email. These recommendations that is being given by the model in the beginning will be all based on the similarities. When you can see from the underlining of the words, here all these emails refer to cancellation. So it has grouped them into a single category and provided to us as a cluster. So like these, there will be 30 clusters that will be formed for us. And there will be n number of pages that is being given for us as well. So that you can have to train the model in the beginning and then make it understand that, hey, okay, this might belong to cancellation, but it might not belong to policy. It might be belonging to something else as well. So it all depends on the business SMEs that will help us to understand from all these policy cancellation and everything. And then when you go to Explore tab, here you can see each and every email that is coming across. And as you can see, you can classify between each and every email. One is maybe related to claim and another might be related to something else. Okay. And then you can have interesting data points that can be extracted from these emails as well. So this is subject line. The subject line has claim and some policy number or something. So what it does is it has identified that, okay, this is a policy number and it has highlighted over here. So this can be used for downstreaming automation, where these policy numbers can be extracted. So these data points can be used for downstream automation. And in this Explore tab, you have many features like teach, low confidence, missed, check, rebalance, etc. So all these are related to improving the model performance, which will help us to train the model better. And if there is a low confidence, if there is a lower accuracy, then the model will prompt us to go to low confidence, prompt us to go and train there. Whichever is not training properly, it will ask us to go and train there. It will ask us to go and label these emails, saying that, hey, you're not labeled these emails, and I'm not able to understand what these emails are all about. So it'll ask us to tell us where to email, where to label these emails, and how to label these emails as well. And all these highlighted ones are the policy numbers. And they, like these, there are different types of interesting data points that can be extracted as well. And you can also have filters. You can have filters based on the recipient. You can have filters based on the sender domain. You can have based on the thread. You can have different filters. Based on those filters, you can label them as well, and you can classify the emails as well. And you can have filters based on different entities that is you want to extract. For example, you want to extract country from the emails. Then you can have emails based on the country as well. For example, this is USA, it's called as United States, and it's filtering based on the country. You can see it's filtering Germany over here. So like these different types of entity filters, different types of label filters can be used as well. And the next tab is called as the validation tab. And in the validation tab, so you are very much satisfied with all the emails. There is labeling and the tagging of the labels are being done, and the entities you have finished labeling, and you're satisfied with everything. Then you have to go to validation and see how your model has performed, and it will also gives us recommendations of where your labels have been have the precision about, and which labels are underperforming, and what it has to be done, and everything is guided over here, and it will help us to give us more recommendation of how to train the model and increase the accuracy of the model as well. So all these information, all these guidance will be given in the platform. So any novice person can train the model and help to downstream this process for their automation. So that is the main idea behind communications mining. And when you go into reports, I can have different kinds of dashboards that are available. You can see that policy is the number one or major amount of messages having policy. And you can have, highest volume of labels that is being used to classify. And you can have different types of labels that are being coming up as well. And there is trends that is given. You can have different trends that are given. For example, how much percentage the claim has, how much percentage the policy has. And you can have a simple dashboard. You can have how many messages that are being given over time. And you can see the recent messages that are coming across. For example, this was integrated in 2022, and that is the most recent message in the integration that is being into the communications mining platform. So it is showing us the recent messages that are being there, and it's showing the count from September 2021 to 2022. So this is the historic data that is being integrated into system over the past 1 year. And you can also have comparisons as well. You can have how much proportion, or what is the proportion that can be given between the messages and the labels and everything. So once you are satisfied with the validation, and you have seen the reports and you are quite happy with the reports and everything, you go into the models, and you can have different models that are available. Like I said, whenever you make a change, whenever you do something with the model, there is something over here that starts getting updated each and every time. So in that manner, there will be different types of versions that are available. There will be older models that are available. There will be newer models that are available, which are being continuously trained in real time. So these available models can be pinned over here, and you can this model will have all the information that you have trained up till now, the latest model. And this model can be used as a stream where you can create a stream with the most recent version of the model, that is 24. And then this stream will help us to get all the will help us to in the downstream automation process. So when any new communication comes inside this particular stream, The model will help us to identify the key insights from this particular email that is coming across. For example, a new email comes in and there is policy number that you want to extract, the address that you want to extract. All these data points can be extracted with the help of this stream for your downstream automation process. And you have different settings that will also be given. You can import different labels into your platform, and you can give upload different entities as well. So all these can be viewed as statistics over here on the communications mining platform, whether how many number of recipients are there, what is the first sender name, what is the ID, and it does all these emails have signature. All these things, all these important information can be seen in this communications mining platform. So this is how communications mining platform basically works. And the last step where you can see is automate. So you enable the automatic actions in response to messages in real time. So once you are done with all the training of the model, these predicted extractions can be automated via API, or we have UiPath communications mining activities that are present that will also help us to extract all this information and then use it for downstream automation. So with the help of an active feedback loop, the communications mining also learns from all these exceptions that is being happening. For example, there is some issue and the model didn't predict properly. In that way, there is an exception that can be happening as well, which will help the model to continuously train and improve and predict better in the future. And this is how communications mining, UiPath communications mining work. Any data, any kind of any text data, basically. So one drawback is communications mining do not handle with documents. It only handles with text data. So UiPath communications mining will help us to automate any text data and gives us more insights and information about the data that is coming in, which helps the business to scale in a huge manner. I hope this was interesting for you guys. And if you have any questions, please do ask. Thank you so much for listening.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Soumya. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, you are done.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Priya, Soumya. Just a quick question. Were you able to kind of look at the questions that are in the chat and anything that we can kind of respond to at this point?
Yeah, sure. So communications mining is in general availability right now. Only the the GenX features, that is the generative extraction feature, is in preview. So if you go into community version and find for communications mining, it's available for you guys. And I'll post the link in the chat.
Awesome. Anyone wants to unmute and just ask any question that they have? Feel free in case you had any questions and we were not able to cover that. No, it was too clear a session, but there are no questions. Thanks. Awesome. Perfect. I think we are good. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the session. I hope you were able to kind of learn about DU and communications mining as part of this, at least good enough to get started on it. So please do go check the products out, check the capabilities that were spoken on the session out, even go beyond and try few other things as well. For any questions and queries, you already have a forum where you can ask and get them answered. You are already getting the documentations messaged on chat. So please do save this before we close the session. Stay tuned for more sessions. Any further content that you are looking for around DU, document understanding, and communications mining, you will find it on UiPath Community's YouTube channel. So please do go there, search with the right keywords, and you will find some content around that as well. Do you have a WhatsApp group? We do not have a WhatsApp group for certain products, but you can just just go to community.uipath.com and join the relevant chapters that you find over there based on where you are currently located, Karthik, and you will get the notification about any future activities that are coming in. Will we get the recording of this session? I joined late. Yes, Sridevi. In say 24 hours, you'll get an email with a link where you can access the recording. And within 24 hours, you will also find the recording on UiPath Community's YouTube channel. I think we are good for anything. Just let us know. We are available on LinkedIn. So please do write to us if there is anything that we can help you out with. Thank you, Soumya. Thank you, Priya, for your time. It was really amazing. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
See you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.